As a result, Ramon and Tanya are often short with each other and dismissive of the other's ideas in meetings. Stacy, who leads donor relations, has only been with Daedalus for 6 months. She is just over 2 years out of college but is passionate about the cause. She often feels that the conflict between Tanya and Ramon is unproductive but can't bring herself to address it. She often feels too young, too new, and too unfamiliar with the lives of the young people Daedalus serves to have the right to speak up. Still, she is convinced that she could get more money behind the cause if her team could work together more productively. Devin is the director of programming, and has been there since the beginning. He has instant rapport with the kids, and does not lack credibility on any front. Devin is a driver, doling out tough love, and holding the kids accountable to their commitments. To him, Daedalus will never reach its full potential if Tanya doesn't get her act together and start delivering results. He doesn't think that program participants are turning around their lives quickly enough, therefore, he no longer feels that Daedalus is making a meaningful enough impact. His distaste is obvious, as he spends meetings alternating between reclining in his seat with his arms crossed and pounding the table with a big, life-worn fist. He's given his life to this cause, and believes that if only everyone else were as committed as he, it would be a different organization. Will is the student intern. He often comes late to meetings, and occasionally can't be found around the office. While he feels sorry for the kids that Daedalus serves, he feels he can't really relate to them because they come from such different places, as he says. Given that he has so many other commitments at college, he is unable to fully engage the tasks that he's been assigned. He always gets the job done, but with much room for improvement. A handsome and charismatic young man, he is often able to escape much of the wrath of his colleagues with wit and charm, but that is wearing thin. You are the leader of a group of student consultants brought in to advise the Daedalus Foundation on how to manage and improve its performance. Using content from this chapter, how would you assess the strengths and weaknesses of the Daedalus leadership team? What dysfunctions can you diagnose in the organization, and what action plan would you recommend to improve the team's performance? (207) Appendix. Virtual Teams. On September 4, 2011, author and columnist Thomas Friedman was a guest on NBC's Meet the Press to promote his new book. His previous book, The World is Flat, A Brief History of the 21st Century, describes the impact of technology on civilization. Surprisingly, the book, which was written in 2004, did not even mention technological innovations such as Facebook, Twitter, and Skype. They either were not yet invented or were not yet mainstream. Friedman, himself, was surprised at the rapid advance of technology. When I said the world is flat, Facebook didn't exist. Or for most people it didn't exist. Twitter was a sound. The cloud was in the sky. 4G was a parking place. LinkedIn was a prison. Applications were something you sent to college. And, for most people, Skype was a typo. That all happened in the last 7 years. And what it has done is taken the world from connected to hyper-connected. And that's been a huge opportunity, and a huge challenge. NBC News, 2011. Virtual teams, like the technological tools mentioned by Friedman, have tremendous potential. They offer organizations the ability to assemble the best and brightest members for particular projects regardless of geographic restrictions. However, virtual teams also have specific challenges that have to be addressed and managed. Designing and launching a virtual team requires planning and forethought. Building effective virtual teams. Hurtle, Geister, and Conrad, 2005, have created a model of team effectiveness that considers the unique needs of virtual groups at various stages of development. They have identified 5 key areas, each with its own unique tasks and challenges that need to be addressed. Effective leaders are aware of these potential snags, and provide appropriate structuring and guidance to ensure success. Beginning with a belief in the importance of preparation, effective leaders know that the launch of a virtual team is an important event. And because there is typically a lack of direct supervision in virtual teams, leaders design creative ways to manage team performance. In addition, they facilitate development through training and give appropriate guidance when it is time to disband. Working in teams. 208. Preparation. The implementation of a virtual team requires planning to ensure that the conditions for success are met, and that an adequate virtual structure is created. First, the purpose of the group has to be clearly defined, and leaders must evaluate whether or not a virtual team is the best strategy to accomplish that purpose. The type of tasks that are best suited for virtual teams are A. Information or service-based tasks such as research and development, R&D, project management, or sales. B. Tasks that are easily separated into subtasks that can be distributed across different locations and easily coordinated. And C. Tasks that have clear metrics that allow members to evaluate progress and the success of the team. Hurdle, Geister, and Conrad, 2005. Then, based upon the purpose and specific tasks that need to be accomplished, the right personnel have to be identified and enlisted. In selecting members for a virtual team, leaders should consider whether or not potential members have the following competencies. Task-related competencies. Knowledge, skills, abilities, and experience related to the mission of the group, commitment to the task, and conscientiousness. Team-related competencies. Cooperativeness, communication skills, benevolence, integrity, and the general ability to trust and work with others. Virtual competencies. Technological competence and comfort, self-management skills, and the ability to work in diverse and abstract environments. Selecting the right members is crucial for a successful team. Although there may be a multitude of talented and competent people to consider, many will not make good choices because they lack the technological capabilities necessary in a virtual environment. Potential members must be both comfortable and competent with technology. Once the project has been defined and members selected, leaders must decide upon a technology platform, and the importance of this task cannot be emphasized enough. With advances in technology, there are plenty of options to consider. To begin, leaders can survey team members on the strengths and weaknesses of the systems they may have used in the past. This invites input from members and increases the chances for buy-in. Ultimately, leaders will need to invest a significant amount of time researching various options and looking at the costs and benefits of each. Once a virtual communication medium has been decided upon, members will need the necessary hardware, computers, cameras, internet access, etc., and software, email, online chat, knowledge-based systems, groupware, etc., before the first official meeting. The training and support plan might include face-to-face workshops, online tutorials, published lists of frequently asked questions, FAQs, online help sessions, or a help center staffed by technology support personnel. Launch. A concise and well-designed launch can build cohesion and create momentum for a new team. Blackburn, First, and Rosen, 2003. Because initial meetings set a pattern for future interactions, the launch is an important event in the life of a group. Researchers have Appendix. Virtual teams. 209. Consistently found that virtual teams benefit greatly from an initial face-to-face kickoff meeting or workshop. Hurdle, Geister, and Conrad, 2005. Getting members together to jumpstart the team can save time and preempt unnecessary confusion. An initial face-to-face meeting helps members get acquainted with one another and begins to build trust and commitment to shared goals. Kenton and Bernick, 1999. In addition, members can receive training and define norms and protocols about how they will communicate and work together. These group dynamics will eventually emerge in a virtual environment, but an initial meeting can serve as a catalyst for development and hasten productivity. If group members are not able to meet face-to-face, team leaders will have to be more creative in launching a team. Ideally, Members should have information about one another and about the purpose of the group before the first meeting. Written biographies with pictures will help members envision their teammates and begin to build trust. To avoid any technical problems, the communication medium should be tested before the first official meeting, and members should be trained if necessary. A successful launch should create an atmosphere of trust, a clear understanding of the group's purpose, and anticipation for success. Performance management. One of the primary roles of any team leader is to monitor progress and motivate members toward task completion. Both of these leadership functions tend to be more difficult in an abstract, virtual context, where it is harder to assess both task progress and member commitment. Leaders have less direct control and influence over the functioning of group members. In a study of 13 virtual teams operating in Europe, Mexico, and the United States, Kayworth and Leidner, 2001, found that the most effective team leaders were mentors who demonstrated a high degree of concern for others. These team leaders were able to assert their authority without being overbearing. In addition, they were effective at providing regular, detailed, and prompt communication about the status of the project. Figure A.1 Managing a virtual team. Phase A. Phase B. Phase C. Phase D. Phase E. Preparations. Mission statement, personnel selection, task design, rewards systems, technology, organization integration. Launch. Performance management. Team development. Disbanding. Kickoff workshop, getting acquainted, goal clarification, development of intra-team rules, leadership, regulation of communication, motivation/emotion, knowledge management. Assessment of needs or deficits, individual and/or team training, evaluation of training effects. Recognition of achievements, reintegration of team members.